Salutations, respective viewers. I am George from Ireland. So I'm in Cambridge, in front of Trinity College, Cambridge. So Cambridge University has existed in some form since 1209, since the St. Scholastica's Day riot in Oxford. That was the only university in this realm at the time, when there was a clash between town and gown. Gown, meaning the university undergraduates donned, because they wore gowns, in a pub, Swindlestock Tavern, which no longer exists. There was some row over the price of beer, and this turned into fisticuffs, and more undergraduates and more townsfolk piled in. And in the end, about 50 people associated with the university were killed, and the other dons and undergraduates fled into the countryside. The king sent the army to restore order, totally took the side of Oxford University against the town of Oxford, and made the town of Oxford apologise to the university every year and pay compensation. I forget the sum, but it was a reflection of the number of people killed. But anyway, some dons and undergraduates came all the way over to a swamp called Cambridge. Here in the fens is very low-lying land. Often, it was often underwater. And there was already some religious houses here, some monasteries, abbeys, priories. And of course, almost all education was provided by the church, but they helped set up Cambridge University, but that didn't receive its charter from the king until towards the end of the 13th century. So Trinity College, Cambridge, as in the College of the Holy and Undivided Trinity. So, Edward III has set up some colleges, but this one here is 1546. We'll look at the main gate. Up high above the main gate, you may see the statue of Henry VIII, the Merry Monarch. So the Reformation was going on. Well, the Reformation in England, really 1433, the break with Rome. It's debatable exactly when it was, but I would go for, 1533. I would go for that year. Some people put it a few years earlier or later. So he outlawed the Roman Catholic Church and set up the Church of England. Actually, it was the same buildings they used in almost every case, and the same personnel. These people called themselves Catholic priests, just because they called themselves Anglican priests. But anyway, this was partly to be the sort of intellectual powerhouse of the English Reformation, which was like a Reformation light. It didn't go that far. Even today, some people in the Church of England would say we're Reformed, we're not Protestant, we believe in the Reformation, not Protestantism. Other Anglicans say, well, we are Protestants as well. Anyway, so there's Henry VIII. You see a royal coat of arms, the fleur de lis, as in those golden lily flowers of France, the 3 golden lions passants, as in lions passing, on the red field, that's of England, and various other big cats, and various crowns, the coats of arms of various royal figures associated with the college. Anyway, so what he did is this college is really an amalgamation of King's Hall, founded by King Edward III, and of Michael House, another small college which no longer exists. And so he took their property and their people and put them in here. And for a long time, Trinity was little more than an adjunct of St. John's College, which is just down the street, the red brick college. The first 4 heads of house here were from St. John's. Right, in Oxford and Cambridge, each college has a person who's in charge, and their various different titles could be provost, could be president, could be master, could be warden, could be dean. So as a generic term, they just say head of house. The first 4 heads of house here were graduates of St. John's. So Trinity College, Cambridge is enormous and very illustrious. It's had 7 British Prime Ministers come here. Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, came here, and as indeed did his grandson, Rajiv Gandhi, who was also Prime Minister of India, as did Rahul Gandhi, leader of the Congress Party in India. Many other distinguished persons, philosophers like Bertrand Russell. You've got to be close to me to catch my voice. And so many Nobel Prize winners, I think about 25. And there are about 114 Nobel Prizes won by graduates of Cambridge University. As Cambridge likes to point out, this university alone has won more Nobel Prizes than France. But that might be something to do with Anglophone bias. What else? So yeah, royal coats of arms up there. The white feathers. You want to be looking at the gate more. It's very difficult to see from this angle. We'll come closer. The white feathers of the Prince of Wales, his symbol, the Black Prince, as in son of Edward III. He set up that symbol and took the motto Ich den, meaning I serve in German, copied from John, Duke of Bohemia. The Black Prince was not black, by the way. He had a suit of armour painted black. John of Gaunt also helped to found one of the previous colleges, which then became part of Trinity. So John of Gaunt being the uncle of Richard III, who effectively ruled as regent on behalf of his nephew, owing to his nephew's tender years during his minority. and on. Other people it mentions. So King George VI went here as an undergraduate, didn't graduate. So until the 20th century, it's quite common for boys to come to university, spend a year or two there, and then go down without a degree, not sitting any exams, pick up a bit of education, a bit of polish, and that was enough. Likewise, Edward VII came here with no intention of graduating when he was Prince of Wales. One of George III's younger sons, Prince William, the Duke of Gloucester in Edinburgh, he did graduate from here, the first member of the royal family to graduate. Prince Charles, the current Prince of Wales, he was here. He graduated in 1970 with a 2-2 in history. He was told that history should be easier for him, as one of the dons said, after all, history is just about your family. Anyway, anything else about Trinity? It's got a huge chapel. There's the great court in there, as in this big quadrangle, and there's this challenge to try and run around at 367 meters in under 43 seconds from the first stroke of 12 noon to the last stroke. And I don't think anyone's ever done it. Sebastian Coe, the Olympian, attempted it in 1988, didn't quite make it. You may have seen the film Chariots of Fire, 1981 film. Basically a true story about Eric Liddell, the Scots missionary, about Harold Abrahams, the Jewish athlete, both outsiders in their way, one a Christian fundamentalist, the other an ethnic minority guy, and then a kind of fictional character who was really a merger of two real characters. But anyway, in it they have this sort of Trinity Court run, seeing whether they can do it, which I think in reality they never attempted. It's really about the 1924 Olympics in Paris. But anyway, Trinity refused permission for filming that scene, thinking it would associate them with anti-Semitism. So indeed, it was filmed at Eton, and Eton College looks very similar to this one. Though really, Eton is connected with King's College, Cambridge. This school had connections with Westminster School, which is right beside the Westminster Abbey and Parliament and so on. Whitgift School in Croydon, because he gave some money from here. So that's Trinity College, absolutely fascinating and very illustrious college. Do go in, worth a visit, that's all.